All you need is your stability ball. If you need a headrest, you can grab one. I forgot to grab one today. And then hand weight's always an option, right? So to start with, let's just take that ball and just kind of trap it somewhere off to the side so it's not rolling into your way. And then we'll just start kind of in our own space on the mat. Think of drawing the abs in, and I'm just going to start that really casual rocking back and forth. You don't have to make it very big. It's just finding that sense of balance. Kind of peek down. Is one foot in front of the other? Maybe the legs are a little wider than sits. Mine are for sure. And then we're just going to inhale to bring it up. Lift the heart a bit. Exhale, come down. As you come down, put your hands on your quads as you roll forward, just to give support on this first roll down, or first couple actually, and then start to come up again. So we're just starting with those rolls, you guys. Inhale at the top, exhale, reach the arms, vertebrae by vertebrae, peel it down. If it feels like you want to go a little deeper right off get-go, I laterally rotate it out and I'm dropping into passive. And then come all the way up, lift the heart. If you're not going deeper today for whatever reason, your hands stay on your quads and you just don't go as far down. Otherwise, right down there. And then inhale, float it up. One more time, bring it all the way around. Bend the knees, hips, ankles, drop that down. I'm going to place my hands down either on your quads or down on the ground and get a little spiraling going here. So I'm just going to start to move those hips back and forth, get nice and deep, lift up on the balls of the feet so you're kind of getting that movement in right into your toes. I'm also getting the movement into my hands. So instead of my hands flat, I'm kind of putting my hands up, so I'm stretching the fingers. You can go upside down on the knuckles. Move your hands around in different positions here, just to warm up the hands. So I've gone now and I've turned my hands in towards my fingers, in towards my feet. And that is rotating through the wrist line as well as getting a stretch there. And then I'm just going to stay there and just kind of pull my elbows back a bit and stretch out that forearm on the inside. And then release that, let it roll all the way up, turning my feet to parallel. Big inhale as I come up. Exhale, hands down, center heart. Stretch your hands straight out from your torso. Spread out your fingers, pull back your palms. Reach, lift your heart, give a little heart opener. And then exhale, round it down, heart hug. And then all the way open again on the other side. I'm just going to drop this microphone down a bit. Lift your heart. Opposite arm wraps, big exhale down. And then just reaching the arms, lifting the heart, staying center. And then just let those arms fold all the way down. Peel it down to the floor. Either hands on quads, shins, or floor. Stretch those legs up. Look through your legs. Let your head dangle. And then a little squat. Go again. Press that up and stretch. Getting into those hamstrings. And little squat down. One more time. Press and stretch. And then bend the knees, float all the way up, you guys. Big inhale at the very top. Exhale, hands center heart. I'm just going to take my legs a little wider, put my hands just on the back of my PSIS, the back part of my pelvis, and just drop my pelvis forward. Now, if this is tight, I won't go any farther. If I'm okay, maybe I'll start to lift my chest line. If I'm still okay, I'll lean. If this is super tight, pubic bone ever so gently against a wall as you lean away is a nice, really supported way to start to get into that back extension a little bit, allowing that movement to occur. And then gently come up, roll those shoulders, and let's go ahead and grab that ball. So for your weights, if you're using them, just have them on opposite sides of your mat, but away from where you're starting. And let's just hold the ball ever so gently in your knees. Reach, come around the corner, push that ball out, and then press. Let's drop into the armpits. So my hands are wide. I've put more pressure into my ring finger, baby finger, and I'm just rocking back and forth here. So just like a push-through bar, lift your feet as you lean back. Watch it don't go flying. And not really a releve, just a forward movement with your weight. Again, if those shoulders are not happening right off the bat, I'm bent onto elbows, and I've got a closer movement pattern happening. From here, bend your knees, drop your tailbone, articulate your spine, pick up your ball, reach it up to the sky. Now I got to kind of go short here on my ceiling. Sneak it behind and bend your elbows just gently. If you can stretch it all the way up, do so. Bring it all the way around. Bend the knees, hips, ankles, roll down, and then push that ball out one more time. From here, we're going to start that little rocking again, and then stay long, bend the knees, and look to the left, look to the right. So if you're tight in the shoulders, bring your hands down towards the sides of the ball more, so your shoulders come away from your ears. So I'm looking over my shoulder, not under my armpit. Bring it back to center, bend, fold all the way up, leave the ball down. Inhale as you come all the way up. Big stretch open here, you guys. Hand center heart. And on this one, we're going to roll it out, but with one hand. So I pushed it to the right side. I'm only rolling it out part way. I'm going to stir that pot. Keep this shoulder down and away. Don't have it popping up there, right? You've got it away. Go ahead and circle the other direction. My knees are bent. I'm in a nice strong position. Take that arm, cross it, take a peekaboo over, not too tight, down you go. Lean into the hip. If your neck will invite, a very purposeful peekaboo up to the sky and down to the floor. One more time. Bring it back to center, bend your knees, fold all the way up and bring it to the side of your body. So I've brought my feet in closer for this one, and I am leaning because of the side of my ball or the height of my ball. From here, I'm going to reach up. I'm going to slide lateral over to that ball. Push that away, lean your hips in opposition. Feel about 3 cracks go down your spine. Yep, that was a good sound. Big, big breaths into the side rib cage, you guys. Reach that arm a little farther. One more big breath for me. And then let that arm fold down across the front of your body as you bring that ball back to the middle. Widen out your legs. Hinge forward. Find that nice position. Stir the pot on the other side. So let that arm just go. So remember, I'm not rounded, hunched with jammed out knees. Bent, strong, and a little pressure into the ball. Circle the other direction. Shoulder nice and loose in its socket. Take the arm, sweep it across, look up, or push it a little farther. Down you go, and rotate a little deeper. Look to the floor, look to the sky to get that movement. If this is really tight, bend your knees, right? If you've got some neck issues, maybe don't look to the sky. And then bring it back to center, drag it all the way up. As you come to tall, bring your feet in close together. Again, you're probably going to lean because of the size of the ball, but that's where we're going anyways. Up we go. Lean your hips in opposition. Actively reach that top arm, take a peek. And if you're okay, stretch the ball out as well. Once you're here, big, huge breaths into the side of the rib. I'm between 2 planes of glass. If your back's a bit pissed at you for some reason, slightly flex forward. Right? Or don't make it as much of a reach. One more massive breath into those intercostal muscles. And then come out of the stretch slightly as you fold that arm all the way through to the front. Roll that shoulder back. Release it out. Bring that ball into the front, just holding with those knees a little bit. We're going to warm up some squats here. So nice and neutral. Push the ball out and just squat back, pull in. So I want to come to tall stand. So I'm going to let go of the ball and it's just going to touch my knees and bounce forward. Watch on this one, you're not losing the neutral spine, neutral pelvis. You want to get the weight going back a little bit, but not so far that you're lifting up the ball of your foot. You want to feel that you've got those strong points connected so that you can stabilize this. Now go ahead and stay down here. Pull it in a little closer. Lift your heels, lower your heels. Barely holding on, right? The ball is just there for a flirt of balance. A little bit of connection there. Hold the heels lifted, bend through the knees and the hips. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower your heels, push the ball out, stick your booty out, drop down. Heel toe into parallel. I'm going to pull the ball in closer to start this one and go on my elbows. And I'm going to start a poodle wag. A little wiggle from left to right. If that's a little tight in the hammies, bend the knees. You can still get that poodle wag. If it feels okay, push that ball out and look at the hip as you bring it around the corner. Draw those abs in nice and strong. Find that breath. One more little poodle wag. Bring it back to center. Bend, come all the way up. And then leave the ball. Big breath as you come up to tall. Maybe more extension here. Hands down, center heart. Bring it all the way forward. So let's take that ball off to the right side. Take your left leg quite far forward. Hinge the hips forward. So I'm going to move that one weight. I'm grabbing the weight on the same leg that is forward. My big foot, oh Jesus, Fiona. My foot is laterally rotated if I have a hard time staying up on the ball of foot. Otherwise, up you go. Wow, that took a lot to say. On this one, I'm going to reach forward and come back. So if you're okay, you're rowing this arm and you're rowing the ball. That makes it a little more challenging. If that's a little difficult, don't move the ball. Let's go 3 more. Get down there in your lunge, guys. 2 more, warming up those legs. Now stay halfway down Sneak this leg in and scale. Lower, lift. So I'm moving my arm and my leg. Squeeze the glute. Let's go 4 more. 3, find your balance point. 2, 1, pulse up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the arm and the leg, curl that toe, and step back, not as far as you were. So now you're in a lunge position. And then lower, lift. This arm, as I lower, is going to press to the sky. Press and down. So they're going in opposition. The brain's got to think a little bit about that one. Let's go 4 more. And 3. And 2. Now stay down. Bring this arm all the way forward and rotate away from the ball. Hold that rib hip nice and strong. Tuck your tailbone. A little bit of rotation here. 4 more. Maybe you can go a little lower. 3, so you're hovering just above the floor. 2 and 1, all the way back. Lower the knee, uncurl the toe. Take this foot a little farther forward. Put that weight down. Here you can just use that ball to stretch into that hip flexor. If it feels good, press away with the ball, lift a little higher. If you're okay with binding with one hand, go ahead and lift that heart, open that up. Couple inhales, exhales. Beautiful, you guys. Remember, you don't have to grab that back foot. If you are grabbing it, see if you can flex that foot. Just changes the stretch a bit. Slowly let that go. Take your front leg, laterally rotate it out, and lean into the ball. Now, if you want to go deeper, just move the ball right out of your way. Right, come right down. I'm not going to. I'm going to stay on the elbows today. If you want to push into that knee and rotate a little bit more in your spine, kind of look over your back shoulder, go ahead. 1 more big breath. And then have everything face forward. Hinge your hips to the back. You don't need the ball if you don't have it. Drop the ball a foot and lean forward into your hamstring stretch. So if you're tight, ball comes in. If you're not bad, move the ball in front of your foot. Flex the foot up. Pull it back into that leg a bit. And then come down for your hamstring. If you need a hand down, go ahead. Couple really big breaths. Every time we get a stretch happening, you guys, use your breath to calm your body. And then slowly come out, pull the ball back in. Bring that leg around. Remember which leg you had forward. Put your elbows into the ball. Tuck your tailbone under. Excuse me, curl your toes. From here, push in with your elbows. Try not to lean your shoulders over your wrists. Have them in line with the elbow and lift just an inch. Now, instead of being tucked, that was my initial position. I'm going to come up and untuck and find neutral. So from this rounded position, untuck, hold neutral. Holding 5, 4, 3, 2, lower the knees. Keep your heels, toes curled under. Lean back. Lift that heart. Couple little breaths here. So if that pins and needles on your toes is difficult, you guys go ahead and uncurl your toes. If the knees don't like this, come here still, but lift. Find your elbows onto that ball again. Find that neutral position. Push into your elbows. Lift an inch. Let's hang out. Draw those abs in strong. So instead of being tucked, right, I'm in my neutral. Holding 5, 4. Don't lift too high. You'll miss it. 3, 2. Now lift. Drop to your heels. Stretch that out. Give a little rocking. So I've opened my legs up wider as I rock. Bend your knees. Fold. Come all the way in. Grab that ball with your knees. Inhale up. Exhale, float that down, give a few little wiggles, and we're going into the other leg. So step quite far forward with your right this time, back with your left, square up your hips. Ball is in the hand, which is opposite of the leg that's forward, right? And then we're just going to start this leaning action first. Back leg is long and straight. If my knee is going way over my toe, back up a little bit. It can go over the toe. It's not going to hurt. It's just range of motion. But if you don't need it going that far, step a little farther back with your back leg. And then start rowing on both arms. Let's go 5. Get as deep as you want into that leg. 4. Feel your glute and ham. 3. And 2. And 1. Nice, you guys. Now stay halfway down. Wiggle this leg in. Hands strong on the ball, teeter-totter, lower and lift. Try to get this hip facing the floor. It'll tend to want to rotate open into lateral. Try and keep it more parallel. 4 more. 3, 2. Now pulse it up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower that foot, curl your toe under, and come up into your lunge. So if you stepped really far back, a little closer this time, stand tall, tuck your tailbone, down and up. So this is where we're going in that opposition, right? I'm pushing down as I push up. Arm goes up, body goes down. Let's go. 5, 4, ball is for balance. 3, if you don't need the ball, move it away, right? It's just for balance. If you don't need it, get rid of it. And hold down, reach that arm forward, drop your shoulder, bow and arrow towards the opposite direction of the ball. Front leg. If you can go a little deeper, go ahead. Let's go. 4 more. Vision cuts the room in half. Chin stays parallel to the floor. Last 2. Breath out as you row. Last 1. Lean forward. Just kind of gently put the weight down. Wiggle that leg backwards. Front leg forward and pull into your hip flexor a little bit. Press, lift that heart. Couple good cycles of breath here. If it feels okay, you can grab that back leg. Open that up. Flex the foot if that's workable for you. Couple cycles of breath. And then go ahead, pull out of it a little bit. Move this leg off to the side. Press a bit. Pull the ball in towards your pelvis. Lean into that. From here, if you feel like your hip flexors are getting too much stretch, pull the ball in and get your pelvis more on the ball as you rotate. If you don't need the ball, push it out of the way. And if you're okay with some rotation, push open on the knee. Peekaboo over your shoulder. Couple really big breaths here, you guys. Beautiful. Bring it back to center. Bring that, if you don't need the ball, just kick it out of the way. Otherwise, pull the ball in close, go into hamstrings, or move the ball, flex that foot up, and use it to keep that foot in flexion as you drop down. Hands can go to the floor for a bit of stability. Deepen into the hammy. 1 more big breath. And then slowly bring it up. Bring that ball back towards you. Bring that leg around. Cat-cow to thigh stretch. Those legs are warm. So here, instead of having myself in parallel, I've slightly laterally rotated out. That little lateral rotation allows me to get a little more glute and quad co-recrusion. So before you find the glute, let's do cat-cow. Push that out. Hands stay on. Untuck, drop into your shoulders. Roll it back and forth here a little bit. Try to find an anterior tilt. Watch your shins don't lift. Keep them anchored. And then tailbone tucks around the corner. Pull the ball in. Keep your fingertips on the ball. Give me rib hip. Lie back in your thighs. So not just pelvis pushing forward, upper back. Lie with the thighs going back. Roll those shoulders open. Bring the headline and the shoulders back. Come up nice and strong. Let's go again. Cat-cow as you press out. Roll it out. Sorry, I'm just changing something on my screen here, guys. Roll it out. Take a nice strong inhale. And as you exhale, roll it all the way back in. Nice and slow. Get that little rib hip connection. Hold the ball. Now, if you want it heavier, grab the ball and bring it into your hands. I'm not today. My hip flexors are a little bit funky. I'm going to keep my hands down. If you want the ball, pick it up. So I'm going to lean back with my thighs, 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 thighs. Then lengthen into the upper torso. Bring the upper torso back and then carefully pull up. Curl the toes. Push the ball out of the way just briefly. Let's get a down dog elephant so we get our calves here. Lift and get some prancing. Now I like to hold the sides of my mat because I find my hands slip. And then I'm really articulating into my toes. Push your heels down, not doable, lift the heels, bend the knees, and drop into your shoulders a little deeper. Give a little no on your neckline. Couple inhales, exhales, and then walk your hands to your feet. 4, 3, bend the knees when you need to. 2 and 1, you're all the way in. Look through your legs, give a little side to side, and then slowly fold all the way to tall. Wiggle through that spine. Let's grab that ball and have a seat. So putting the ball in the middle of my mat, I'm going to sit straight on top of it. To start with, I'm on the apex, and then I'm just going to hold that ball, inchworm my feet forward, and sit on the front half. Now, if you have a small ball for your height, your knees are going to be super deep on this. It might be a little uncomfortable, so just be careful with that. From here, I'm going to start without moving my ball with my bum and my knees going back and forth. I'm going to scoop through my abdominals to push my back into the ball and then lengthen it up. So once you've started, you might want your feet farther out. You'll know, it'll just feel right. And let a bit more of your spine start to connect with that ball, and then bring it up. So on this one, my ball is not moving. I'm trying to find my spine rolling to the ball. If my head is okay, I'll let it go right back. I'll chin nod and I'll roll all the way up. As you roll up this time, flex forward over your knees. Keep your lumbar vertical to the earth. And then stack to tall. Now, if you need your hands behind your neck, go ahead. You're only going to go as far as you feel comfortable here. So I'm okay with my head going right back. If you're okay, you'll let go with your hands. Your arms are making railway tracks. Coming up parallel, you're going to exhale, continue to sweep. My knees are bent. I'm going to fold forward, and I'm going to extend my shoulder in my socket as I look through towards my ball. And then inhale, stack to tall, support the neck if you need to. Exhale, scoop. If you need your hands on the neck the whole time, go ahead and keep them there. Reach it. Come up, big railway tracks. Sorry, guys. Exhale as you extend all the way back. Reach those pinkies to the sky and come tall. So we're going to add an extension of the legs here. We're going to scoop and roll back. Open it. The extension happens when you come up. Inhale here. As I see the wall in front of me, or my pubic bone and knees, I'm going to push into my legs. My ball is moving now. And then I'm going to sweep forward into that beautiful roll-up position. And then right here, instead of sitting tall, I'm going to bend the knees and just roll all the way back. The ball moves until my spine is anchored. On this one, sweep your arms, widen around, get a pec stretch. And then float the arms forward, straighten out the legs. And down we go. Give a little head, a little no. One more time, everything moves. This is going to turn into saw, guys. Open it up. So this time when we come up, come railway tracks. Railway tracks up. Sweep your right arm back. Left arm stays forward. Left arm crosses right leg. And then I saw. Look up to that back arm. Send it away. And then slowly come all the way up. Both arms sweep 11s. You can put your hands behind your head. Open the spine. Come up railway tracks. Left hand sweeps. Right hand reaches over the knee, shin, ankle, whatever you can reach. And then you look up to those back pinkies as you stretch. And then lengthen up one more time to each side. So we're doing a little saw integrated with our roll up. So now we're left arm reach, right arm goes back. We saw, we rotate. Don't let your pelvis move. Keep it nice and strong as you're rotating. And then come all the way back. You have one more for me, you guys. All the way over. Really push the spine into the ball. Sweep the left, reach the right. Big exhale, stretch. And then we're going to stack to tall. As you stack to tall, get those feet underneath you. Beautiful. From here, we're just going to let that spine now go into a different movement. I'm just going nice and wide on my ball or on my feet, and I'm just moving my hips around. So I'm kind of have a hula hoop around my waistline, and I'm just circling it. All right, so just get some movement back in the pelvis. Circle it the other way. Inhale, exhale, and then from here we are going to go to our rotation. So sitting on the apex versus forward. Bring your feet to the front. If you have a massive ball, you're going to have yourself a little forward. Reach your arms, see your hands in peripheral, and let's do rotation. The wider, the easier. The more narrow, the harder, right? Inhale, rotate. Inhale, rotate. Inhale, rotate. Look to the back hand. Exhale, center. Again, inhale, rotate. Inhale, rotate. Inhale, rotate. Watch your knees don't get shorter on one side versus the other. Back to center. One more time. Inhale, rotate. See your hands in peripheral. Rotate. And rotate. Look to the back hand. Exhale, center. Last time. Inhale, rotate. Remember, the closer your feet are together, the more unstable you are. Bring it all the way back. Relax those arms. Roll those shoulders. Pop yourself up. Beautiful. Pop yourself right up. Find that ball against the wall and find the small of the curvature of your back pushing into the wall. If you've got something on the floor to stop you from slipping, that's fabulous. If you have a flooring that you might slip on, Get a mat underneath your feet. Just be careful. So I'm leaning back. If I move the ball out of the way, I would thunk backwards against the wall. So I'm not standing tall on my feet. My feet are forward. From here, I'm just going to squat down and power up. What tends to happen on this, and I'm just going to go to the wall just for a bit of a visual. In this position, we either tend to tuck the tailbone and round the spine, or we arch and let the body follow the curve of the ball. I want to stay neutral, so I just want to come nice and strong. So right here, my bum comes off, but it's just aiming straight down. Now, if you're good with this and you want a set of weights, go ahead and grab them. Down and up. Power down and up. So you're finding about 90 degrees at the knee, right? You don't need to go much deeper than that on this one. If you can go a bit deeper without tucking your tailbone, go ahead. Now we're just going to add a bicep curl. Let's curl it and press it up. Let's go down and up. We'll go 4 more and 3. Draw those abs in strong. Last 2. I'm doing a little hammer curl. I'm rotating the wrist at the top. Now stay down, pulse it up. 5, 4, little press. 3, 2. Push into the ball, press it up. Bring your feet in closer. Sits bones, not wider. Inchworm your left foot a little farther forward than your right. Watch your pelvis didn't twist. Take your right leg behind you. Don't overreach it. The hip flexor will get miffy at you. And now, lunge down and up. And we're just going to press the arms to the sky on this. Push your body into the ball. And if you're okay with it, when you come up, as you push your body in, actually physically push yourself into the ball, you're going to lift that leg or lift the ball of the foot off. So we're going down and up. If you can get the knee to touch down very carefully without crashing it, go ahead. Let's go 4 more. And 3. Hip, hip, rib, rib need to stay square. 2, otherwise you're going to go all over the place. You won't get that leg up. 1. Stay here. Bring your hands down. Lower just a little bit. Hang out. 5, 4. This leg is off if you can. 3, 2. Press and come out of there. Woo. Give a little wiggle. Inchworm the other foot what feels too far forward. Slowly start to tick this leg behind you as you do it. Push your body weight into the ball. Get that back there. Don't overstretch the hip flexor. It's quite bent in the knee. Down and up to start with. Down and up to start with. We're again going to press the arms to the sky. Once you really feel you have this going, you're not losing your rib hip. When you push your body into the ball, you're going to press that leg to the sky. Not literally to the sky. Bring the knee up. That was a really bad comparison. You're just going to lift your knee. So I'm on dumbass side, and I really want to wiggle. I want to move my rib, hip, hip. So I've stopped the arms. I'm putting my middle finger on ASIS, my thumbs on ribs, and I'm really focusing on keeping this square. Just not as smart on this side. If you can touch the knee down, go ahead. Go 2 more. Most of us will have a stupid side. 1 more. Now stay in the up. Bring that leg up, or maybe the toe is slightly down. Lower. See if you can hold the leg up. Hold 5, 4. Squeeze that butt cheek. 3, 2, 1. Push. Woo! Come out of that. Just let the ball drop. So heart rate might have gone up because we're moving the heart up and down with that movement. Put those weights nice and wide. Passive squat at the very end of your mat. And drop down into those hips, guys. So to use that ball just to give me a little bit of a wiggle from left to right. Find that cycle on your breath. Keep your feet in neutral. If your heels are lifted, that's fine. Mine are lifted right now. As I pick up the ball, I'm going to roll back. So I'm going to lift it, roll it, and then come to tall sit. So we've already done our roll ups. All I want you to do here is move your hand weights back should you want them. Yeah. And then scoop the abdominals. If you need to, bend the knees. Roll it back vertebrae by vertebrae. Beautiful. Bend those knees in. Lift your spine. Peel it back down. So once you're here, rest the hands and the knees holding the ball. Lift up your torso, squeeze the glutes a bit, and peel your spine vertebrae by vertebrae back down. From here, all I want you to do is push into your palms, but keep your knees still. Feel that compression. Don't bear down with your abs. Pull your abs up and into a pose, and watch you didn't thrust your lower back into the floor. Keep neutral. 4, 3, 2, 1. Gently let that come out. And if you're like, yeah, that's good, I'd like a bit more, I'm going to find a supported spine. Knee fold one, knee fold the other. So I'm more on the kneecap now, not on the top, but just at the edge of the knee. And now I'm going to have to pull my knees in as I press with my hands. Find compression. Push, push. Pull your knees, press your hands, drop your shoulders. 5, cycle your breath. 4, 3, 2, 1. Release that a little bit. Maybe the knees come in a bit deeper. Let's go again. Reset, slightly supported or neutral spine. Both are good. And press. Compress the ball. 5, 4. Pull your shoulders down. 3, 2, 1. And release. Take that ball between the legs. Put your heels on top. From here, I'm going to go wide with my heels, closer into my bum. And I'm just going to do a hip opener. So start with your heels on this side of the apex, closer to you. And now just roll your knees, hips, ankles out. Turn your knees, toes, hips in. And then reverse that a couple times, just to let those hips have a gentle hip opener. And then we're going to continue with a little bit of toe tap. So I'm going to bring that ball in and bring it up with my hands. Now, if I don't want to use the ball is heavy. So if you don't want to use the ball, just kind of roll it away for now. Find a slightly supported spine. Reach the arms. We're going to start with arms first. Take it above your head. Watch you're not popping your ribs. And then just bring it to your knees. Inhale above and bring it in. One more time, just starting the arms. Now hold the ball reaching to the sky. Slightly supported spine, knee fold one, knee fold the other. Legs are up. And I'm going to alternate one foot to toe tap as I reach that ball over. I'm looking, there's no movement happening in the spine. I'm maintaining that supported spine. If this is working for you, you know you can go to straight legs, right? I reach one leg out straight and bring it in bent. Other leg out straight, bring it in bent. Feeling good, you can extend both legs up, reach towards your toes, and drop one leg in straight pattern, right? So now you've got both legs going straight. If your back will invite, you can do this in neutral as long as you don't lose that rib-hip connection as it goes down. Neutral position would be a little more challenging here. If you feel that gets your lower back, go back to the double or to the supported. Now bend both legs, ball touches the knees. We're going down for 4 double. 4, 3, 2, touch your toes, touch the ball if you can, lift up. 2, 3. Working for you, you can extend those legs out. I have my legs slightly apart. 4, 3, 2, maybe it touches, maybe it doesn't. Up. 2, 3. Still feels good. Reach the legs. I flex to go down. Now I'm going up and down with straight legs. And up. 2. I point as I come up. Flex. The reason I change my feet is I get crampy feet. So if I change from point to flexion, the muscle pattern is moving. Go one more time, and that just stops me from over cramping by holding a position. And then bend those knees. Put that ball down between your legs. Lovely, lovely. Go back into that little hip movement. I'm going to start some bridge here, guys. So pull the ball in right so it basically touches your butt. So I have to wrap my knees quite far for it to touch my bum. I have a slightly supported spine. Then I'm going to bring, without moving the ball out, I'm going to bring my heel in closer. So it's a deeper knee flexion. And now I'm on this half of the apex of the ball. All I'm going to do is try and do a hamstring curl by actually pressing down on the ball, causing compression on that ball, right? So once you have that sensation going, you're going to push a little bit, either supported or neutral, and lift your bum just an inch off. Hands down for more balance, palms up for harder. All the way for harder. I'm crooked, I'm staying elbows down. As I push my legs out to straight, I'm going to lift a little higher. And then as I come back in, I'm going to almost touch the ground, but not quite. Exhale, press. There's your hammies and glutes. Inhale down. Exhale, press. Inhale down. Shits and giggles. You can add the arms reaching. If you want to use your weights, you can here. I'm not going there at all today. Reach. And in. Now this time, stay in the reach. The whole body is long. Whole body is long. If your bum's dropping down, lift a bit. If that's hard, get more of your knee calf on there so your lever's not as long. If you want it harder, walk it so you're literally just on those heels. From here, holding your hands, we're just going to reach up briefly and bring it down. Reach up briefly, find your balance, bring it down. You're working that whole back line here, you guys. Woo, I am off balance. Let's go 2 more. And go 1. Bring your elbows down. Now, when you pull your knees in this time, lift higher, lift higher, lift higher. Yeah. And then almost come to the bottom, but not quite. Push out, middle plank, lift in, high plank, almost to the bottom, low plank, reverse, right? Press it out, middle, lift it high, and halfway down, or 3/4 way down. Press out, middle, lift in, high, almost all the way down, not quite. You got 1 more, guys. Press out, middle, lift in, up, and all the way home. Woo-hoo! Take 1 leg, relax it over, take the other leg up into the sky, give it a little stretch. If you need to here, you can grab a stretch strap, right? Always have one. Point and flex. The leg that's on the ball can do whatever. If you want to kick the ball away and get more hip flexor stretch by straightening that leg on the ball, go ahead. Yeah, just give it a kick out of the way. You'll get more stretch on the bottom leg. Let that switch, so ball on or off. Extend the leg, point and flex a little bit through that foot. And we're going to transition into tabletop just to stretch out the hip flexors a little bit. They've been working. Couple breaths here. And then go ahead and kick that ball out of the way. Grab your knees, round yourself up. Get your heels in close to your bum. Point your fingers towards your bum or to the side, just not jammed, right? From here, we're going to open up the hip flexor, big, strong tabletop. Now, if your neck is okay, watch your knees aren't going way out to the side. Get those inner thighs connected. You can look to the sky. Give that a hold. Yeah, it's the glutes again, but it's also stretching the hip flexors. Let's go 2 more. Exhale and lift. Inhale and lower. 1 more time, exhale and lift. So this time we're going to go into that wild thing. This hand that I'm going to keep my weight on. My right hand, I'm moving it back and turning it out or all the way. Just don't jam your elbow. This hand grabs my tail. I'm going to press up and then lift a little higher, extend through and bring it down. Now, if your elbows do not like this, go down, or sorry, your wrists don't like it, go down to your elbows. Exhale and lift, open and bring it down. 1 more time, press and lift, get that shoulder movement. Beautiful. Bring it all the way down, switch. So bring out your legs, bring your other hand in, place the other hand, soften the elbow, walk those feet in, and lift. If you feel unbalanced here, bring your legs a little wider on the floor. That's fine. 2 more. Exhale, lift. Inhale down. I can be on the elbow. And 1 more time. Exhale, lift. Inhale all the way down. Bring your feet forward. We're going to swing those legs right around. Come into a 4-point stance. Curl the toes. Come up into a really nice down dog, you guys. Let's get that whole back line stretched out here. Back and forth on the toes. Stretch those out. Drop both heels if doable. If not, lift and bend, right? And then drop into your chest. So before we get into some extension work, we're going to get a little stretch here in our extension first. So hands strong, come into plank, lower the knees, uncurl the toes, slowly come into that extension. We're going to come all the way down because we're going to go floppy. We're going to go floppy first. Elbows in place, maybe a small lateral rotation. Relax the butt cheeks, relax the abs, and press up, disengaged, feeling the movement in your lower back. Yeah. And bring it down. So even if you can come higher, you can, but don't lift your pubic bone. So if you can come higher, go ahead, but you're not lifting into a swan. We're going to get there on the ball and bring it down. This is just that floppy push-up or Mackenzie extension, right? Exhale, lengthen. Don't tighten on those butt cheeks. Maybe here you do a little sway of the shoulder left and right, or not. If that QL is tight, just ignore this. Bring it all the way down, hands closer, more like a push-up, curl those toes, push back, lift, and prance 1 more time. Drop into the down dog when you're ready, prance longer if you want, and now I'm doing a poodle wag again. I've just opened that lower back, now that poodle wag might be able to give me a little more movement, and then walk your hands to your feet in 4, 3, all the way in on 2 and 1, Bend those knees, drop the tailbone, curl your spine, slowly come up, roll those shoulders. So we're going to get into side lateral work first. Your mat just wants to stop the ball from rolling out. I'm going to show you this here, and then I'll move over to the main wall. You've done this many times with me before. Come in close enough that you're really, if you measured with your feet, go 2 feet of your feet, and then bring the ball about to your arch of the second foot. Front leg, ball leg forward, wall leg back. Press down like you're in a lunge, pull the ball into your hip and lie on the ball. Elbow goes on. Front foot can go straight or bent, that doesn't matter. Keep your back leg bent so you don't overstretch your hip flexor. Rotate and just find that first nice long stretch over. Here you can kind of roll in and out from the wall. Now, if it feels like it's going to be too aggressive, like you're holding too much body weight, you're going to move the ball out from the wall. If it's not hard enough, you're going to move in. Here are your hand positions. Hand stays here. This hand wraps, and I do my side lateral. This arm goes here. It goes out, or both arms go out, all right? So I always start here just to figure out where I'm at. Watch you're not leaning back. Stack your hips. Lateral flexion, and then the shoulder touches down. So this way we're getting as much lateral as we can on both sides. Remember on this movement, and I'm just going to come to here. So maybe you can see my back leg. Don't stretch this back leg out. That's going to pull into a hip flexor stretch. Have it bent so it's right in line. So basically you're kind of kneeling on the side of the wall. Your body's between 2 planes of glass. If you're okay, one arm reaches, both arm reaches, and then come right down so you get the stretch. And without bouncing off the ball, come up with control. Inhale down, exhale up. Let's go. 3 more. And go 2. Zip up those abs. Neck is just following. Don't lead with your neck. Now come up so that you're in neutral. Reach one arm. This hand goes to your headline. Pulse. So you're pulsing up. Now we're not going down to the ball anymore. 5. Crunch those ribs. 4, 3. Nice. 2, 1. And then hold neutral here. Put both hands on the ball. One hand will be right underneath you. The other hand will be in front. Rotate your spine. Bring your spine back to the front wall. Rotate, look to the floor. Rotate, look to the wall. Now, if you're okay here, take your bottom hand, wrap it. Rotate and around. Still okay, hand into the forehead. Rotate, bring it back. Still okay, both hands into the forehead. Rotate and bring it back. Now, if you're able to, rotate even farther to the wall you're anchored on. 4 more. And go 3, so choose where you want to go. And last 2, this one's a tough one. And last 1. Bend your knees in, get your bum a little lower on the ball, and let's go into our circle. So you can widen out your legs on the wall, reach forward like you're falling forward, let the ball roll over onto your shoulder blades, stretch that open. And go again, sweep. And circle. And one more time, big sweep. And circle. We're going to reverse this, you guys. Wide as you go. And reach it forward. 2 more. Big wide circle. And forward. One more time. We have that whole sequence on the other side, right? All the way forward. Grab the ball with both hands. Bring your one foot down to the floor. Push and come on off. Other side. Laterals really have a dumbass side, so just be mindful of it. So my ball leg is forward. My wall leg is back. I'm about maximum 2 feet out from the wall. And then I'm going to go down into lunge and drop my hip into place with my elbow. Place your feet on the baseboard, basically. Now, if you're too far out and this feels challenging, you're going to move the ball farther out. Want it to be harder, you're going to move the ball farther into the wall. Start with the stretch. Let yourself dangle. Grab that wrist. Here I'm going to bend my knees in towards the wall and then straighten them away. If I've got long enough arms, I could put this hand down, looking for a reach. So I'm just in lateral flexion here, just stretching it out. And then find yourself connected. So I slide this hand underneath my head. If my back leg is back here, I bend it. Front leg can be all the way straight or bent. That's up to you. Roll your hip forward so both hips are facing the wall. And then start your little side sit-up. Remember, you can have one hand down, one arm crossed behind your head, reaching, or both arms reaching. Get your full flexion both directions. Try not to use the momentum of the ball to bring you up. Inhale long, exhale up. Inhale long, exhale up. Let's go 4 more. I'm just going to switch sides. And 3, and 2, and 1. Now come down or up, depending on where you are, so that you're straight. Imagine yourself straight. Support your neck. This arm can reach, and you're just going to bring this rib closer to this hip. Small. Watch, you're not doing this with your neck. It is the rib to hip. Rib to hip. Let's go 4. Don't overextend that back hip. 3. Draw those belly buttons up and in. 2. From the pubic bone, right? And 1. Now stay in the long. Don't be lifted. Stay in the long. Both hands down initially. And just take your shoulders, rotate them to the floor without your pelvis rotating, and then rotate them back to center. Rotate them to the floor. Rotate back to center. You're okay with this? Wrap the hand. Rotate. Center. Still okay? Hand on forehead. Rotate. Center. Still okay? Both hands. Rotate. Go through center to your stabilizing wall. Inhale. Exhale. So I'm not flexing through rolling up. I'm rotating. You're going to want to exhale as you rotate towards that wall. Inhale to the ground. One more time. Find neutral and release. So here I like to come in closer. I put my elbow on, drop my booty down, widen out my legs a little bit so my base is strong, and then reach that arm, roll your hip open, and over you go. 2 more. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, roll back. Let the shoulder go in its socket. 1 more time. And then when you're ready, you're going to reverse that. If there's any real sticky points, like right here, if I reach really far forward and I actually extend my back leg back a bit more, I'm going to get a nice pull through my QL. Or if it's my chest line that's tight, I've bent my back knee in a little bit, I'm just going to hang here for a little while. So don't be shy about freezing in a position, right? When you're good, I lift up to put my elbow down, hand on the wall, get my feet underneath me nice and strong, up I come. Beautiful. So we're going to go to front extension. I'm going to start it here. I'm going to bring it in so I'm about 2 feet again from the wall. And then I'm going to pull the ball in just a smidgen closer. Big wide booty stance to start with. Kind of frog down and put my pubic bone in the ball. And then I'm going to roll forward. Now, right now, my legs are too wide. I don't want to keep them as far as they were. So roll forward and kind of wiggle so that your quad isn't stuck on the ball. And then lean back into the wall. So from here, the farther the ball is to the wall, the harder the farther the ball out is, the easier it is. So you can play with that. My pubic bone, my rib cage, part of my quad, they're all in the ball right now. My hands are here. My feet are in lateral rotation on the wall. I don't have to be up on the ball a foot. Now, if I wanted to, I could. That's going to make the calf work. You don't have to. If you want to curl your toes under, you can. I don't. I'm just against the wall. Using your hands, engage your abs, and extend up. So I'm using support here. Only come as high as you don't feel that lower back firing. Pull those abs in. Let's reword that. The lower back is working. You are feeling it engage. It just shouldn't be angry as you do this. If you're okay with this, I'm going to move my ball out a bit. I have a little bit miffy back today, so I moved my ball out. Even 1/2 inch is massive on this because your body is heavy. I'm going to roll forward. So your shoulders roll, they go down, and then I pull my shoulder blades up, I pull my abs in, I extend. If that's miffing the back a little bit, when you extend, bend your knees a little bit. Not a big, massive bend, because that's another movement we'll get to. Abs engaged and reach. Still working for you. Reach the arms like you're holding a nice wide pole and lift. So my arms are quite wide open. I'm going flexion through neutral into extension of thoracic and cervical. So my lower back really isn't moving that much, but I definitely feel the workload in the lower back. Go 1 more time. And then hands right to the floor. Push off the wall a little bit. Widen out your legs. So instead of being a bit more lateral rotation, I've gotten really big with my froggy. And now I'm just going to round my spine as I go back and forth. If I've got the hip mobility, I'm going to open up wide enough that my feet actually connect to the floor instead of the wall. And that's pushing my hips even farther open. This is your recovery, so let your spine round, right? If your triceps will invite and your wrists will invite, drop right down so your head almost comes to the ground and press away. If your backhand will invite, get your feet flat to the floor as you press up. So I'm in a big booty squat. I'm in my passive squat on my feet. So down as far as you can and away as far as you can. We're going to add on swan dive into that last movement here for extension work. So hands carefully on the floor. Wiggle your legs back into that lateral rotation, for sure laterally rotated. And on this one, you're going to bend the knees and everything's just going to flop forward. I'll show you the ball option first with your hands down. So I start here. I'm just rounded. I'm resting. You can kind of look at that bugging you. Oh, I probably muffled the microphone on that whole set. Sorry, guys. So I'm here. Sorry about that. And then on this one, I'm going to push my legs to straight, maybe even come to the balls of my feet. I'm going to keep my hands here. And if my shoulders are rolled forward, I'm going to pull them back. So now I'm just in torpedo, just straight torpedo. Then I'm going to bend my knees, let the ball roll in, push my pelvis into the ball. My foot is firmly into the wall as I extend up. So now I'm really quite straight. And then I'm going to lift my heart a little farther to find cervical and thoracic extension. Bring it back to neutral. Press into the legs, find torpedo. Maybe my arms reach beside me. And then I'm going to fold for recovery. So let's go again. Next level, the arms reach behind you. They're off the ball. Torpedo first. Bend your knees, push your pubic bone in, arms reach to the floor. You're looking just straight forward. And then go ahead, roll your shoulders open a bit more. Give me extension. Bring it back to neutral. Press into the legs, torpedo, and fold down. Harder, arms reaching. So I'm going to reach my arms out. There's my weight load. Those are nasty heavy. Push the knees, reach to the sky. Go deeper, extend. Maybe you can get to the wall. Come back. Reach it all the way out. Tighten those abs. Fold it down. Relax. You've got two more, whatever you chose. I'm going to go arms reaching, torpedo. Push your quads. Lift your heart straight forward. If this is comfortable, don't go any farther. Lift the heart. Go a little more extension if you can. Bring it back to neutral. Stretch it long. And bring it down one more time. Press that out. Lift to the sky. Go a little deeper. Bring it back, lengthen it out, and release. So here I'm going to take those legs, I'm going to roll out on my hands a bit and widen my hips really wide again, like really wide, big froggy to the side. And then I'm going to drop back and pull forward. So in this position, I basically could lift my ball. Now that really depends on how long your legs are, how long your arms are and stuff. So if you're like, yeah, that ain't going to happen, Fee. If you've got a massively big ball, unless you've got insanely good turnout, it's simply not going to happen. So don't fight it. So when you get your feet towards the floor, if you get them there, great. If you don't, that's okay. Push your hands into the ball to bring yourself up. So we are going to get some inner thigh squeezes. So in this big turnout, I want you to back your feet up, pull the ball in, and lean your pubic bone towards the ball. So you're kind of reaching. And then when I come on, I'm just going to turn here. Tendency is to do this with your feet. Turn your knees in, your knees out, your feet in, ball a foot, and it's like you're riding a horse, but your knees aren't forward. They're behind you. You wouldn't actually ride this way. My husband's probably like looking at me going, you don't ride a horse like that, Fee. Your stirrups are behind you. That would be interesting, wouldn't it? So you're going to squeeze that inner thigh and open. Zipper up the abs. And let's go 4. Find that inner thigh. 3. If your toes will curl behind you, get them anchored. 2 and 1. Now squeeze the ball in pivots or in pulses. Squeeze, squeeze. Let's go. 5, 4, zipper up. 3, 2. Now hold that ball. Squeeze it in nice and tight. Draw those abs in. Let's hold for 5, 4. Compress the ball with your inner thighs. 3, 2, 1. Release it out slowly. Hands on the ball. Push your hips out. Go ahead and just kind of have your hands on that ball and wiggle those hips a little bit, you guys. Come back to the long end of your mat and let's do a few roll downs here, you guys. So reach it up, come around the corner, walk that out, extend long. Give a little wiggle here. I'm going to heel toe my feet in tighter. I'm going to come to my elbows and I'm going to go a slow, purposeful poodle wag. That feels good. Straighten out those arms. Go longer. Still feels good. Look to the pelvis as you bring it around the corner. Still feels good. Add your sexy cat. Knees can be bent, but we're moving that spine. Go the other direction for 2 or 3. And then bend the knees, fold it all the way in. Let's get some deeper hip stretches. So I'm going to anchor against the wall so my ball's not going to run away. I'm going to sit apex or slightly back of, depending on the height of my ball. Legs are wide. Hands holding the wall. I bring this leg straight out of my femur bone and I cross. Pull that a little higher. And once you're balanced, push into that knee and fold forward. Now, if you know you can go double pigeon or you can go deeper in these stretches, just move your ball out of the way and just go into the deeper stretches if you'd like to. Today, this one is getting me just fine. This is where I'm going to stay. Couple breaths. Inhale, exhale. Breathe as you go. So I'm doing a very small rocking forward and backwards, and that changes the angle that sort of gets in, especially if I move my pelvis to cause that rocking. So if I tuck and untuck, it'll change. And then slowly come out of that leg, give that a little wiggle, find your balance point. Again, if you're on the floor, just go into your second leg in the front. Find that, find your balance. You'll have a dumbass side, lean forward. If this aggravates the knee, flex the foot, right? If it's still, this angle's too tight, go to the floor and straighten out your bottom leg and just cross your ankle over the quad. You don't have to be on the ball, right? From here, moving back and forth with my pelvis staying still with the knee isn't going to change a lot of the stretch. It'll get more intense as the knee goes forward. But if you tuck and untuck your tailbone, as you push the tailbone out and away, it'll pull deeper into your hip. All right, so I'm pushing my booty like I'm trying to find some J-Lo. I'm not getting any J-Lo. There is no curvature happening there. I can't get that far out. Hips too tight. But it is changing the dynamic of the stretch for me. And then hold into wherever was working for you. And then very carefully uncross the leg. Sitting quite tall, sitting on the apex, legs super wide. I'm just going to drop one knee down. Don't turn your whole pelvis to do it. Keep your pelvis fairly forward. Drop the knee in and out. Just work one leg. Internal, external. So I'm up on the kind of the ball of my foot, and I'm just moving my knee in and open. In and open. Just that internal, external rotation of hip and socket. And then settle into that. Get the other side going. So I'm up on the ball of foot. If it's out here, you got to bring that foot in closer, kind of parallel to the ball. Drop your knee down. Open it up. If that's difficult, go slow and use your hand to sort of assist that internal, external rotation of that hip. We're trying to get that movement in our hip. Go 2 more. We did a fair amount on those hips, so we want to make sure they're nice and open. And then go ahead and bring yourself right on your ball. Reach one leg forward, lift your heart, and come down into a really nice hamstring stretch. From here, you can point and flex. If you can't get the hands down here, your hands can be on your stabilization leg, or you can put them on your stretching leg, but not on your knee, not on your kneecap. Put it forward of the shin, up on the quad, just not straight on that knee joint. And then fold down into the stretch. Let your head dangle if you can. As you come up, bend the knees so you can float up, and let's get that other leg. So pull this one in. It's laterally rotated. The heel goes out, so I'm nice and stable. I'm wide. And then I rotate to that leg, I float down. If I'm tight, maybe I'm here. If I'm okay, I can go a bit deeper. If I'm still okay, down you go. As I add a little point flexion on the foot, it'll exaggerate that stretch. Couple cycles of breath for me, guys. And then bend that knee, put pressure in your heel as you roll up so you're not right into your spine. Bring your feet in tight, pop up. Move that ball out of the way. Doesn't matter if it rolls into your way. Just kind of get it somewhat out of the way. And we'll just do a nice stretch here. Big inhale as you come all the way up. Hands down, center, heart. Let's go the other direction, gang. Reach it up. Open the clamshell. Stretch that out. All the way around. Few little wiggle jiggles. And we are done.